So what are the best minimalist and or ultra thin iPhone 7 cases out there? Out of the 120 plus iPhone 7 cases that I've used, there are only 15 cases that I would consider as ultra thin or minimalist cases. Every one of these cases will add less than 2 millimeters to the thickness and 4 millimeters to the width of your iPhone. That's not a lot of extra bulk. So I will say that my scoring system includes a protection element. Now for these minimalist ultra thin cases like this Caudabe one, this isn't going to offer a lot of drop protection. So I'm going to go through one list that includes protection, and then I'm going to go through another list that excludes protection, and they're slightly different. I'll also do a quick comparison between the Peel and Caudabe Veil XT at the bottom, since these are two very popular cases that don't actually make the top 10. All right, let's get started. Number 10 is the Spigen Liquid Armor or Liquid Air. Now the Spigen Liquid Armor was the old name, the Liquid Air is the new name, and I do believe that these two products are identical. The standout feature of the Liquid Armor and or Air is the texture of the case. The material actually feels soft, and the only way I can describe it is that it kind of falls between the feeling of hard polycarbonate and the silicone of the Apple cases. Now the Liquid Armor won't offer much protection for your iPhone, and the edges, despite feeling soft, aren't the best for one-handed usage. Number 9 are DBrand or Slick Wrap skins. Now basically any full body skin would sit at number 9. Now these skins add so very little bulk. It's almost like nothing's there, though you get to make your iPhone look pretty, I guess. But the standout feature of the skin is that you can still use your iPhone with the case for those instances where you need more protection. An example of this is being able to put your skinned iPhone into a waterproof case like the Ghost Tech Atomic if you need extra water protection or drop protection. Or you can add a skinned iPhone to the Mophie Hold Force system in the times that you need a spare battery or a wallet case in a pinch. Now, if you're wondering if you can actually reuse a skin, well, I tried that in this video, so check that out. Number 8 goes to the Spigen Thin Fit, the regular Thin Fit. Now, the Thin Fit line shows up twice on this list. Now, the regular Thin Fit sacrifices a bit of screen protection from the edges to maintain its thinness. The standout feature of the Thin Fit for me is if you get the darker one or the black case, it handles incredibly well, and there's space for one of Spigen's magnetic mounts, so you get to turn this thin case into a magnetic thin case. The iPhone is generally not as protected in the Thin Fit as the top and bottoms of the iPhone are completely exposed. I'll add that the colored versions do not have the soft rubber coating that make the dark version incredibly awesome for handling. Number 7 goes to the Pitaku. Now, the Pitaku is actually the coolest case on this list. I love how it looks. It looks the best and is actually the only one that isn't made from polycarbonate or TPU. The case is made from aramid, which is basically Kevlar. The design of the case is actually visually very appealing, and the entire case has the same soft feeling as the Spigen Liquid Air or Armor. Now, the Pitaku isn't going to offer your iPhone much protection. The case has no front edge to protect your iPhone screen, so definitely do get a screen protector, and the top and bottoms of the iPhones are exposed. But despite that, it looks pretty awesome and is one of the thinnest cases on this list. Now, this is the first time you're watching one of the videos. I got a ton of other top 10 videos, so if you need to know what the best slim, waterproof, or wallet cases are, check out those videos or my website. Number 6 goes to the Spigen Ultra Hybrid. This is one of the tougher cases on the list, though it is a bit thicker. The extra protection comes from the air pockets in the corners that add a tiny extra bit of cushioning for the iPhone during a corner drop. The corners of the case are rated to 4 feet in terms of drop protection. Now, from my perspective, the Ultra Hybrid is basically a Spigen Liquid Air with a clear back. The back is raised, so it won't explode in a blazing array of scratches right off the back, but it is a clear case, so scratches and fingerprinting will be an issue with the Ultra Hybrid. Number 5 goes to the Incipio NGP Advanced, and this is the toughest case on this list. The corners of the case are rated to 5 feet in terms of drop protection. The standout feature of the NGP Advanced is the texture on the case, as it's one of the best handling cases on this list. Now, for me personally, I'm kind of mixed. I've got mixed feelings about the NGP Advanced, mostly because I bought this color, and this color does not work well with any sort of colored iPhone, so don't get this turquoise one. I don't know how to describe it. It's in my head. It just doesn't look great, but it handles incredibly well. Number 4 goes to the NGP Pure, and this is probably one of the best valued cases on this list, as it's not that big and it offers a bit of drop protection. But this clear case, like any clear case, is a magnet for fingerprints. Now, I don't know what else more to say about the NGP Pure because it is just basically a TPU case for your iPhone. It doesn't have the same grippiness as the NGP Advanced, and that's about all I got for the Pure. Number 3 is the Caudabe Sheath. Now, if you're looking for a TPU cover for your iPhone, the Caudabe Sheath should be your go-to case. Now, The sheath feels very nice. It has kind of that same soft texture, but it still has enough texture to keep it from sliding around easily. Now, despite being one of the thinnest cases on this list, it still has an edge to provide your iPhone with a bit of screen protection, as well as keeping your iPhone's camera lens off a flat surface. For me personally, the sheath is actually one of my go-to cases for the days where I need to wear a suit or need to keep my iPhone in my pants. Number 2 goes to the Apple silicone case, and this is easily the most overpriced case on this list. On average, you could buy 2 of every case on this list for the price of an Apple silicone case. Now, this Apple silicone case is probably one of the easiest cases to get, because if you're getting your iPhone at the Apple store, well, boom, they're all right there in the store. Now, the standout feature for the Apple silicone case is that it handles incredibly well. I just love how my iPhone feels in the Apple silicone case. My only gripe is that over time, the silicone may come off. I've actually seen silicone cases where all the silicone has come off, and if you're actually wondering, the layer under the silicone is actually quite grippy. All right, the number 1 case is the Spigen Thin Fit 360. I've been using this case for a week, and I honestly do not get upset when I have to take cases off. I get upset when I have to take the Spigen Thin Fit 360 off, and that rarely happens. The Thin Fit 360 isn't the smallest case on this list, but it's one of the best valued. For $30, you get a case that covers your entire iPhone, which no other case on this list can claim. And for $30, you get 2 glass screen protectors. I will note that these screen protectors only cover the touchable area of the iPhone, which means this case is probably the best case to get in conjunction with the Life-Proof Nude. As an added bonus, like most thin Spigen cases, you can turn the Thin Fit into a magnetic case by adding one of Spigen's magnet mounts. I'm usually wary of the gap between the case and the screen protector, but everything on this Spigen product fits incredibly well. The only downside for this case is that the control center actually takes a hit in terms of usability. You have to try it a couple times to get to it, which isn't a great thing. But like all Spigen products, the darker cases have the soft rubber coating, whereas the brightly colored ones do not. This white one looks awesome. I love how it looks, but it handles like a buttered, hard-boiled egg. Now, before we get to the second list, where I re-rank all these cases by removing the protection element on my scoring system, if you're finding this video useful, consider getting these cases through my site or through my links. This video isn't sponsored, and I've spent multitude of hours using all these products and writing reviews for them. So the updated list, if I was to remove the protection component out of it, would be number 1 is the Pitaku. So cool. Number 2 would be the Thin Fit 360. Number 3 is the Apple silicone case. Number 4 would be the Incipio Advanced. Number 5 would be the regular Thin Fit. 6 would be the Caudabe Sheath. Number 7 would be the NGP Pure. Number 8 would be the Caudabe Veil XT. Number 9 would be the skins. I don't have a skinned iPhone. And number 10 would be the Peel case. So those are, the list kind of isn't the same in the middle. It's kind of the same. The biggest leap in terms of if you don't care about protection is the Pitaku. This thing looks so cool. Now, between the Caudabe Veil XT and the Peel case, you've probably seen Facebook advertisements for both these products. I personally would go with the Veil XT. Both are basically the same size. Both are pretty tough to install the first time around. But the biggest difference for me is that the Caudabe Veil XT has a better texture on it. The iPhone 7 handles like I've used a wet bar soap before. The iPhone 7 handles like an olive-oiled grapefruit. It's incredibly slick by itself. And the Peel case, it doesn't have a lot of texture to improve the handling of the iPhone, but the Caudabe does. And with the extra texture on the case, it hides scratches a bit better. If you run your fingerprint, or if you run your finger across the back of a Peel case, you'll definitely see scratching, whereas that scratching is minimized with the Veil XT. And both these products are definitely better than the Spigen AirSkin, which is completely slick. It actually makes handling of your iPhone even worse than it would be without this thing on it. So that's all I got. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments section below. I'd be more than happy to answer them. Again, if this video was helpful to you, consider getting your stuff through my links. Or in fact, if you're not getting cases, anytime you use one of my links, I get credit for whatever you buy on Amazon. So, you know, that would be another way of supporting me. And Monty's been a good boy, so here's a blueberry.